Cruise news time, and it seems like a whole can of chaos has been unleashed on cruisers over the last few days. We've got cruisers who rode out a storm returning to find their cars damaged. We have cruisers on a cruise ship running aground in the Bahamas, and we have cruisers whose cruise has ended after their cruise ship was disabled by a rogue wave. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on Friday, November the 22nd, 2023. And well, the time is upon us. I went yesterday afternoon and finished up my Christmas shopping. Hopefully everybody is ready for Christmas. The first of our youngins start to show up at the house tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to a few days with family, and hopefully you guys are also. I did book a bucket list excursion yesterday. I've been to Cozumel many times, but I finally pulled the trigger on this Cozumel Classic. I'll tell you what that is at the end of the show. But first, let's process through some cruise news. Sad story coming out of Cozumel, where a cruise passenger on a ship excursion has passed away after an ATV accident. Reports from the scene say that a passenger was on an ATV excursion. They rolled the ATV, they crashed into the ground, and they passed away at the scene. Uncertain as to what cruise ship this passenger was on. But yeah, sad story coming out of Cozumel. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the person who has passed away. Cruise news story number 2. Let's talk about passengers returning from a chaotic weekend on the sea. You may remember that last weekend and early into this week, much of the talk was about the bad weather occurring on the east coast of the United States and South Florida and all the way up the eastern seaboard. And you may also remember that it caused a lot of cruise ships to miss ports and to be delayed. Carnival Sunshine was one of those ships. And so passengers were well aware that they were dealing with a bad situation when they returned. They were told that they could not return to Charleston because of flooding. And then that reality became a horror story for several people who parked near the port, as the parking lot at the port completely flooded. I've been tracking along with some of the stories of the people whose cars were damaged. One individual in particular describes coming back to her car, essentially a brand new car, less than 10,000 miles, filled with standing water, deployed airbag, and seemingly not being able to get any assistance from either the cruise line or the parking facility where her car was parked. From the cruise line and the parking facility's perspective, they did release statements saying that they helped in the best way possible. However, the stark reality is when you park at these parking lots, you park at your own risk. And so neither the cruise line nor the parking facility are liable for what happens to your car. Back to the deployed airbag. The lady said that because her airbag had deployed, her insurance company determined that her car was essentially totaled and that she was able to get maximum benefit. So fortunately, after some sort of delay, she was able to get a rental car. The insurance company is going to pick up her car and take it back to North Carolina. It's just a horrible situation. And it does highlight for all of us one of those scenarios where we're all at risk. I don't know any parking structures, facilities, parking lots that, take accountability for when things like these acts of nature or even somebody breaking into your car. It's posted on most of these places that you park at your own risk. And so, I think it's something to remember. But man, I feel horrible for these people that just showed up and their cars were wrecked. Have you ever shown back up from a cruise only to have problems with your car? That would be an interesting comment if you'd like to leave that comment below. Cruise news story number 3 is a story about a luxury cruise ship called the Ocean Breeze, which ran aground in shallow waters in the Bahamas, stranding 800 passengers. Fortunately, a rescue operation has occurred. Those 800 passengers evacuated from that cruise ship without any incident or injury, but the ship is still stuck, which is a big challenge, a challenge not only for the recovery of that ship, but also potential environmental problems if that ship stays stuck in that shallow water for too long. We have authorities there in the Bahamas working with the luxury brand to get that cruise ship unstuck. What a weird way to end a vacation. You're just tooling around the Bahamas. All of a sudden, your ship runs aground. They can't get it unstuck. They evacuate you, and then it's time for you to find a way home. Good thing nobody was injured. But another, like I said, it's cruise chaos seemingly today. Now, I've got to tell you about this Norwegian cruise ship that was hit by a rogue wave, but I'd like to do a couple things first. First, let me invite you to subscribe if you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising. If you want to stay up to date with the cruise news, well, I am your daily spot for it. You can get notified every time I post a brand new show by hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell. YouTube's just going to send you a reminder. It doesn't cost anything, and it will keep you in the know. And number two, there is a programming note. Tonight, I will be live with my friend Don Terrace on the YouTube channel Don's Family Vacation. I guess it's going to be our last live chat for 2023. Talk a little bit about the holiday and some of the upcoming travels that we have together. Make sure you go over there. I'll leave a link for that in the description below. Now let's talk about the Hurtigruten cruise ship MS Maud. She was making her way through the North Sea when she was hit by a rogue wave that broke the windows out of the bridge of the cruise ship and shorted out all of the electrical equipment, leaving that ship unable to be navigated in the normal way. Now, fortunately, the ship did not lose main engine power. They were able to do some manual steering from the engine room, but at the end of the day, a rescue vehicle had to come connect to this cruise ship and tow it to the nearest port. Currently, they're being towed to Bremerhaven in Germany. A spokesperson for Hurtigruten said that all 266 passengers and 131 crew members were safe, and that they would eventually be there in that port in Germany where passengers would be disembarked. Just goes to show you that anything can happen. Very rare circumstance. Wouldn't turn me off from cruising, but rogue wave. How about that? Now, I got to tell you about this bucket list cruise excursion that I have booked. This will happen next month when I'm cruising on the Carnival Jubilee. That cruise starts on January the 20th. Starts in Galveston, Texas, Western Caribbean itinerary. Going to go to Cozumel, to Costa Maya, to Mahogany Bay. And well, I've bit the bullet, as they say. I am going to go to Tulum. This is one of the more popular Mayan ruins, but it's not necessarily close to the cruise port. 7-hour excursion. You take a boat from Cozumel over to the mainland. You board a bus. You go a couple of hours into Mexico. Then you finally reach the ruins, and then you got to do the whole thing in reverse. 7 hours on this excursion. That's probably one reason I've avoided it, but it is a big deal. Tulum is a place that a lot of people go to, and I'd love to share that with you. So I'm excited. I booked that yesterday. We also booked like the steakhouse and a couple other things. I don't know what's happening here at the end of 2023, but I've become very proactive. A lot of times I'm just waiting until I get on a cruise to make some decisions. But yeah, all that stuff is set up. How are you guys doing? It's Friday. Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the holiday? I would love to hear how you guys are doing. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Did you hear about the questionable excursion I booked on my cruise to the Mediterranean? I'll leave that video right there. Make sure you check that out next. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, I'll see you on the Lido. Bye. We'll see you on the Lido. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. That was weird, right? Bye.